morning, everybody, and welcome to Board Game Breakfast. We're really glad to have you with us this morning as we start off another week. Here in Florida, some schools are starting today, some are starting next week, but school is in the air. Summer's almost over. Fall is here. With fall comes, well, weirdly enough, in 2021, convention season starts now, which is kind of a weird thing. It normally starts over the summer. So we have conventions that are coming up. In just a few weeks, I will be going to, we're having the Dice Tower Retreat, which is fantastic, sponsored by Restoration Games. And I think there's a couple spots open right now. If you're interested in that, email us at tom@dicetower.com, and we'll get you in. And then directly after that in September, so the Dice Tower Retreat is September 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The week after that, we're going to be at Gen Con. So we hope to see you there. We hope to see you there for a couple of reasons. One, we would love to see you there to come by our booth. It's going to be a fantastic time. We'll have promos and stuff, but just to say hi to us. We're also going to have the Board Game Geek promos at our booth. So we're kind of working with Board Game Geek. We'll have our stuff and their stuff together. So not only that, but we're doing a show there, and there's still plenty of seats left for the show if you want to sign up for it. We're going to be doing a top 10 list there with Mr. Bonacor as special guest. So hopefully if you're coming to Gen Con, you'll be able to swing by and see us there. We have a contest going on today. We have a game that came out last year but is now being reprinted by Pandasaurus called Wild Space. So in Wild Space, we got 3 copies of this. This is for the USA only due to licensing restrictions. And to enter this contest, you simply need to email us at contest@dicetower.com. And in the subject line, put the word spaceship, one word, and answer a question: which animal is tallest on the cover of Wild Space? Which is why we're not showing you the box cover, Wild Space. You need to go online and find it yourself. Tell us that, answer that. We got 3 winners, and we always put our winners up at dicetower.com/contests. So there we go. We got stuff going on today, but let's get started with some contributors.
Hi, Stella.
And Taryn here from Meeple University and the Dice Tower. Today we're going to play one round of the game 60 Second City by Buffalo Games. This is a game that's played over multiple rounds, and it is a cooperative real-time game. And you are trying to complete a certain number of goals over 5 rounds. We're set up for round 1 here, so we've got these 5 goals we're going to complete using these domino tiles here.
Let's do it.
We have 1 minute. Let's go.
I need to complete this.
You've got to start
at
City
okay.
Hall.
I forgot.
And there's a pattern to match. I can try to solve. Ooh,
I can do
quite
this
get
one.
that.
No, I can't do this.
Annoying.
Oh no, this is not right. Oh no, this is worse than I thought.
Commercial, neighbouring, residential.
This just doesn't matter what
that
there
works.
is, so.
That gives us a couple.
In the border.
Commercial goes here. We need the
pattern.
4 over here. So.
Okay.
No. Make the 4 pattern.
And this one. This one. No, that's not this
no,
one.
That's,
no, what do you mean 4
we need
pattern?
4 in a row. Match the pattern with the red ones there. See?
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
That's alright. I got it covered.
Oh gosh, thank you.
Alright. This is
this
okay.
one.
This is useless.
This one, right?
We've got that one. It's covered.
Okay.
I need some
This is
orange
useless.
ones. Oh, residential
this one.
needed to be on the border.
Oh no!
I missed that.
This
is useless.
This is useless. Oh no.
Where does it go?
Match the pattern. We can't really.
No, we're done. All right.
Oh
so,
no, I'm holding it.
Yes, you do get to
Just
place
put it
that.
there, whatever.
Okay, so now we would simply go through these and see which one we completed. We did not complete that. We did complete this. So that one's out. We completed this. We failed these 2. Oh, we could have put that there.
Oh, sorry.
We didn't complete any of the ones that allow you to remove pollution. So we would just add more pollution and more goals and go on to the next round.
And again, I'm Stella
And I'm Taryn.
from Meeple University and the Dice Tower. See you next time.
Welcome back to Kidsplaining. I'm Peyton. And I'm Jared. And today we're going to teach you how to play Cascadia. In Cascadia, players compete to create the most diverse environment with their habitat tiles and wildlife tokens. To set up the game, put all the wildlife tokens in the cloth bag, then give each player a starter tile, and make a stack of habitat tiles face down. The number of habitat tiles you use is based on the number of players. Then take a scoring card for each type of wildlife and put them in the middle of the table. Next, put the supply of nature tokens where everyone can reach them. Then lay out 4 random habitat tiles in the middle of the table and pull 4 random wildlife tokens from the back and place one above each habitat tile. Even though we're set up for a 2-player game, we're only going to build 1 player's environment in this example. On each turn, you will take 1 habitat tile and the wildlife token above it. Then put your habitat tile into your environment. Then put the wildlife token on a habitat tile with the matching symbol. So I can put this salmon token here, but I can't put in any of these spots because they don't have any fish symbols. Then replace the habitat tile and wildlife token, and it's the next player's turn. Play continues around the table until there are no wildlife tokens left to replace the one taken by a player. And after the last player's turn, it's time to score. There's 4 ways to score: habitat tile corridors, habitat tile corridor majorities, nature tokens, and wildlife scoring cards. A habitat tile corridor is a group of connected habitat types. Then you score for who has the largest corridor in each habitat type. And for nature tokens, you get 1 point for each token you have at the end of the game. And for wildlife scoring cards, you only score for the tokens. You don't score anything for the symbols on the tiles. Each type of wildlife scores in a different way, and each card of each type of wildlife scores different too, but they all use similar principles. And that's Cascadia. If you have any questions, or if you want to see a detailed explanation of how each of the wildlife cards score, and some of the other special rules, you can find that over at our full tutorial over at youtube.com/kidsplaining. Have a good breakfast. Bye!
This is a game I hunted down very much so when I first got into the Euro hobby. And so it was years after it came out. Valley of the Mammoths here. And the reason I hunted it down was because I like Citadel so much, and Bruno Fedudi was a designer of both. And I like the artwork on the front of this one here, the Valley of the Mammoths, although I'm not sure so you can see here the cover is not in English. There may be an English cover out there somewhere. It's been a long time since I've had this game. In this game, you're a group of cavemen, and you're contending with the other rival tribes. You're going around trying to gather and hunt and fish to get food for your people, and other people are going in your area taking your food and also stealing your women, making this a very, very comfortable game to bring out with everybody and causes no problems at all. So the theme is going to be problematic for some people, and other people it might be because there's cartoon nudity. It's silly French artwork. It's a silly game, and it doesn't really hold up well 30 years later. This is a game of its time, and even in its time, I remember playing it going, it's not so bad. And that was years ago that I said that. Nowadays, yeah, there's a reason this one hasn't been reprinted. It does make me sad for Descartes, because that company had a lot of neat games out back in the days, and I really liked their stuff. In 2005, Descartes was acquired by Asmodee, and kind of that branding doesn't exist anymore, but they did the little blue box games, which I really liked. So, yeah, I don't know. If you see this one on sale at a special spot, check it out. It might be worth getting it for $5, $10, but I wouldn't pay more than that. It's a very chaotic, silly cover. Looks almost like a Mad Magazine type, not Mad Magazine, but that genre of things. And that's how the game plays too. Very chaotic, like most of Bruno Fedudi games. So that's a 30-year-old game, which I probably won't mention for a very long time, the Valley of the Mammoths.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. Today we're talking about Marvel United. This is a family-style cooperative game. You are the forces of the heroes of the Marvel Universe versus a bad guy facing one at a time. This particular box comes with, we've got Ultron, we've got Red Skull, we've got Taskmaster. So that was fun.
And Ultron is out against me right now in this moment because before we started recording, my tea infuser fell into my teacup. And I just needed to tell you all that because it made me sad.
Okay.
Nothing to do with the game, but now I'm sad.
Well, I'll take over from here.
Thank you.
This game had a clever kind of action follow mechanism where the card I played is able to be played by me, and then the player who's next in order, they get to play their card and my card as well. So you kind of have a chance to kind of strategize what's coming up before you and how you might be able to maximize your turns. That was a lot of fun. I will say this game is fairly light on the strategy side. And it's also, there's a certain replayability cap that it has, in my opinion. You have 7 heroes, 3 villains in this particular box anyways.
And then you've seen the game.
And you've pretty much seen it all, you know. You can mix up the challenge level and make it a little more difficult, but there's comes a point where, without expansions, this does have kind of a little bit of a shelf life. But you can spice it up with expansions.
So I liked how the life works, that your life was your deck of cards, because I think that makes sense. If you're fighting a big bad guy, you're getting worn out, and so you have less and less energy or life, and so eventually, like, if you run out of cards, you've literally run out of all of your energy, and you're, like, done, and the bad guy wins. And so I liked that aspect of the game.
The minis in this game were cool, they were cute. The rest of the components were fairly thin and cheapy, but also the base game price was pretty affordable as well,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that makes sense. All right, you guys, if you want to hear more from us, we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. You can find us on YouTube or Facebook.
Everybody, this is Ryan. Bethany, hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
If you haven't heard of Lost Ruins of Arnak before, then I am genuinely impressed. I mean, that seems hard to avoid. I don't know how you did that. Everybody talks about this game. Maybe you're new to games. Maybe you haven't heard of this because you are new to games, and in that case, welcome. Welcome to board games. Do not start with this game. Dear God, please, if you're new to games, don't play this one right out the gate. You'll be overwhelmed. It's too much. It's too much for you if you're new. If you are not new to games and you haven't heard of this game, shocking. This game has a lot of hype around it, and I do not like hype, okay? I'm like, yeah, let me see. I'll play it, and I'll find some problems. I'll poke some holes in this veneer. And then I played the game, and I was like, oh, it deserves all of the hype. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, it makes me mad how good you are. I want to hate you, and I can't because you're so good. It's so good. Honestly, the only bad thing I can say about this game is that it's so well designed and so tight that the first time I played this game, 3 people all tied with the score of 69. True story, there is our score sheet. 3-way tie, 69. I almost could never play this game again because this is the perfect score. It never gets better than a 3-way 69, okay? I almost never got to play you again because you were so good and you scored so well the first time. So don't ever do that again. The game we all tied at 69 proves that you can focus on different things and still be competitive. And because of that, the game becomes an exercise in efficiency. Who's going to do what they're trying to do better? That means this game is great for competitive people because if you win, you know you were better. You did what you were trying to do better. Next time I play this, I'm going to be better.
I'm going to slightly disagree there that a tie score in a game proves that all the strategies are balanced. It doesn't mean, because I have played games in which the scores of Arnak were quite far apart. That doesn't prove anything either. I just want to point that out there. I'm not saying it's a bad game. Fine game. Come play it in the Dice Tower Library. All right, so what's coming out this week? Well, in 46 minutes, Z's going to be playing What's Happening here for you on the Dice Tower, so come and check that out live. I'll be doing a Q&A today at noon. We have, tomorrow I'll be taking a look at the new version of Galaxy Trucker, the updated version of that. This week I'll also be going over Moonshine Empire. I'll be taking a look at a classic game, Kingdoms, Hungry Hippos Launchers, and a lot of people have been asking, I'm going to get to Dominant Species Marine. As a group, we're going to be taking a look at Cascadia, which you just learned how to play if you've been watching this so far. And I'm doing a super secret top 10 list this Thursday. So Z, I wonder if there'll be the same topic. We'll find out. Lots of stuff coming out, of course. Podcasts going up tomorrow on the Dice Tower, and lots of podcasts always on the Dice Tower Network. Check it out.
What is up? My name is Matthew McCack, and this is Smashing Buttons and Slamming Cards. This is a segment where I talk about a video game I love and I connect it to a board game I love. And this week, I want to talk about Everspace, the video game. This is set in space, go figure, and it's sort of like a roguelike video game. It has sort of that old arcade feel to it, but like modernized, where you are going through runs essentially, and you're trying to beat the run, beating the NPCs, and like you're gathering resources and all this sort of stuff, and you're just gonna die a lot in this game, in Everspace, but every time you die, you get to upgrade your ship with the money you've collected, and you could get different perks and all that stuff. I want to connect that to Galaxy Trucker. I love this game. Galaxy Trucker is not for everybody for sure. It is a wacky sort of game, and I kind of view it as though like you're going through runs. You build up your ship, and then you kind of watch it get destroyed, which is really cool for some people and hilarious, and for others it's not a fun experience. But I really like it, and every time you go on the next run, you get to have a bigger ship with more perks and upgrades and everything, and that's why I'm connecting it to Everspace, where it's like that run through of like wackiness and you don't quite know what is coming, but then every time you go into the next run, you get to upgrade and everything and choose your layout for your ship and everything. So this is an awesome fast-paced game, and I love it. That is it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like, you can check out mine and my brother's channel called Room 51. I'll catch you next time.
I once went to a location and played games with some folks, and this was years ago, not quite 10 years ago, but it was quite a while ago, where I played a dexterity game with some folks. It was a prototype game, which proves it was quite a while ago since I don't play prototypes much anymore. And as we played this game, it was a game about flicking marbles so that they would land into holes, a board made up of holes, and you would flick a marble. Well, this is a flicking game. It's a silly game. And as we sat down to play it, the person who had designed the game said, listen, we want to make this game as fair as possible, so between each round we're all going to stand up and rotate chairs so that we can, that the leveling of the house doesn't affect it. And I thought, wait, what? Who cares? This is a dexterity game. It's silly fun. And I said, no worries. Put me in the worst spot where the marbles will roll away from me, or whatever the worst spot is, and then we don't have to stand up and move every time. So then we played the game, and I was like, woo! And the people who designed it and played it with me took it very seriously, carefully looking at their shots, lining them up, and at the end of the day, they were marbles, so they just kind of went wherever. And I thought, these people are taking this game too seriously. But I bet they thought, they were too polite to say so, I bet they thought I wasn't taking it seriously enough. And that's an interesting thing when we play games with people. There's a level of goofiness that can occur, and that level of goofiness can be tolerated by some folks and not others. If you play a game with me, and you've seen us when we play live here, that's not tremendously different. I mean, we know we're live, so we're going to constantly keep talking and stuff, but it's not tremendously different than when we play games. You'll notice in live things, we break out in song and do silly stuff. That happens in real life a lot of times when we play games, but that's not everyone's style. Some people prefer to play a game in a very serious way and in a very thoughtful pattern. And I don't want to seem like I'm criticizing them, because I know that I'll play games with people sometimes who are too goofy, and you're like, dude, you need to take the game a little seriously. They're just like, oh, I don't care. Well, you should. I mean, just recently I played a game with somebody where they were bidding on things and yada yada, and that affected the whole game, and they were like, woo-hoo-hoo, I don't really care. And I could see how that would irritate other people playing. I think when it comes to level of goofiness, you just got to learn to read the room, right? If everyone else is being fairly serious, you need to kind of rein it in a bit. But at the same time, if you don't like that, then maybe not play with that group. But you're not going to suddenly make them all be goofy. Instead, you're going to kind of irritate them. And if somebody you play with is a little bit too goofy, well, that I don't know how to handle as well, because what do you say? You need a better attitude. Maybe they have a good attitude, but like, hey, we're trying to take this game seriously, and when you act like that, you kind of ruin the flow of the game. So it's kind of a weird thing, because I found myself on both sides. I've definitely been the dorkiest one at the table, and some of you are saying, with that outfit, you're always the dorkiest one at the table. Thank you. Man, I'm so used to these insults. I fill in the blanks here for you all. Anyway, but I know sometimes I've been the silliest one at the table, and you're like, huh, maybe I need to calm down here. And other times, I've played games with people, and I'm like, huh, you know, they're being a little too crazy for me, and this is not a game, you know. I didn't think that, you know, Feast for Odin was a game we'd be laughing about the whole time and, you know, just randomly going to spots on the board. You can't just randomly go to spots. Don't play randomly. So anyway, just something I was thinking about. You definitely want to find that happy medium, and you definitely want to get together with other people and have that same level of goofiness.
Hi, I'm Jordan, here to talk about a game that plays well on a weeknight. This is Colors of Paris. This came out a couple years ago, and it kind of flew under the radar, and I don't think it got a lot of buzz. But this is a really cool worker placement game, light worker placement game, not very difficult. It takes about, I don't know, it's under an hour to play. And so in this game, you have this central board, and the board is going to have spaces around this wheel. You're going to be taking workers and putting them along the wheel, and you're going to be able to take actions that are collecting paint colors, mixing paint colors, collecting new kind of objective cards that are paintings that you're adding colors to, that you're kind of set collection type thing. And you have this other smaller board in front of you that's going to kind of tell you how many pigment or how many colors and how many things you can add and things like that. So that's kind of fun too, and you can upgrade that, kind of a tech tree type thing. But on the central board, you're going to, at the end of the round, or you're going to take all the actions, and then on the end of the round, take up all your workers, except for one. One worker stays on the space, and then the wheel in the middle turns, and so that worker is now placed on a different placement spot, and so you get that action. So you're blocking people out of future actions. You are planning ahead. It's not just kind of a what do I need right now. Not as tactical, I guess, as some worker placement games are. It has a little bit more strategic choice when it comes to where you're placing and when you're placing it on the board, because you might want to leave that worker there, you know, to collect, you know, make some purple, and then when it turns, then you can add that purple to your painting, that kind of thing. Works really well. It's fun to chain those actions together. This one plays pretty quickly, has a fun kind of twist, because you're turning the board on worker placement, and I enjoy it. That's Colors of Paris. I'm Jordan. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning. We are continuing our look at holiday games. Games you can put in your suitcase, take on the plane, on your holidays. Today we are looking at Fjords. This is a two-player only, head-to-head game by Rio Grande Games. This is tile laying and worker placement.
Yeah, so this is a kind of cross between two games, really. So say Carcassonne and Blue Lagoon, something like that. So there's two phases. The first phase, you've got these hex tiles that are all face down. You take one at a time and lay them down to build your kind of play mat, your fjords. And as you're doing that, you've got 4 farms to lay, so you lay those strategically along the way. And that's because for the second phase, Phase 2, you have to place your fields, which are your counters. You place your fields on the hexes to claim as many hexes as you possibly can, whilst also trying to block the other person. But you have to start them from where you laid your first
farms.
farms.
An extra farm, or then from the next field, and the next field, and the next field.
Sneaky little game. It's a bit like a kind of, just a literally head-to-head abstract sort of chessy
Simple
game.
game.
Yeah, it plays 3 rounds, and the one that's got the most land area in those 3 rounds wins the game. Simple. 25 minutes and you're done. And also you can package this one down kind of half the size. This is about this size in the box.
That's true.
So you could decant it into a little bag or a smaller tin, and off you go on holiday. So do it. Fjords. Cheers, people. See you on the next one.
So this weekend I was able to see the movie Free Guy, directed by Sean Levy, starring Ryan Reynolds. This is a movie in which, this is not a spoiler because it's in every trailer, the main character is a bank teller and then realizes that he is actually an NPC in a video game. And chaos and hijinks ensue. The movie itself is very fun. To me, it's the very definition of a popcorn movie. I don't believe there's an original bone in the movie's body. It's a little bit like the Lego Movie or the Truman Show or Ready Player One. There's a lot of those aspects in the game. And in fact, the climactic moment of the movie, which I thoroughly enjoyed, stole something from another movie or two or three. Didn't care. It was very amusing, but yes, there's not a lot of originality here. So the movie's going to basically fall down to how much do you like the characters in the movie. Ryan Reynolds is the main character. The other two people who designed the world, those characters were fine. The main bad guy, Taki Waititi, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I apologize. I love his stuff. I love his character in Jojo Rabbit. I like his movie that he did from MCU. The Thor movie is one of my favorites in that whole thing. I like his attitude. Here, he was a little over the top. I mean, which is okay. I mean, because the movie needed an over-the-top villain, but he went over the top and then kept going a little bit. And I found that part was like, all right, kind of, can we get the camera off him and get back to the actual story? The movie also is very modern. I went with my daughter, and she kept saying, there's that YouTuber, because it has a lot of cameos from YouTubers. I recognized, I think, Ninja, but I don't know any of the other people, but she knew who all of them were. And I thought, okay, interesting, they had a cameo. And then they all had another cameo. And then they all had another cameo, and at the third one, I was like, okay, I get it. Yes, all right, you're trying to bring that audience in. I'm not part of that online video game audience, and I don't believe anyone should watch streaming on YouTube channels ever. But I enjoyed it. It was fun. I would watch it again. There's a lot of eye candy, a lot of stuff happening in the background, a couple of cheeky winks at other things that I found enjoyable, and Ryan Reynolds was playing basically a very nice, politer Deadpool character, which he does really well at. He does really well at that kind of thing. It has a good ending. It starts off a lot faster than I thought it would, and it's just a good romp. So recommend it from me. That's Free Guy.
When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We lost our world to snow, and with it, our last traces of humanity.
The cries of a newborn baby cut like glass through the screams of Zoya. She took a sigh of relief, and her own screams turned to laughter on seeing her baby finally coming in the world. It isn't a world which she imagined for her, but then again nobody imagined one day they will be living in a world like this. And yet here they were, trying to linger on the hopes of a human race would still survive and get to see the end of this apocalyptic winter. Assalamu alaikum. Game Changers is a new segment in which I present to you some of the cool files available for free on the BGG site, which you can download and add to your games to add more replayability. And one such is the Arctic Scavenger Red Winter campaign. Now this campaign contains 10 missions which are very thematic. It adds an overarching story to this game. This mission book adds 10 missions, which adds a little bit variance to each of the missions, as well as present an overarching grim story of betrayal of a colony that is trying to set it up as a new beacon for hope for humanity. So if you find that interesting, check the link that's coming on your screen. You can download this campaign book for free. That's it from me. Happy gaming.
Welcome back to a Fellowship of Meeples. We are Doug and Doug Gaming, and today I'm doing the intro, so get used to it. Anyways, we're going to be telling you guys about a good game to introduce into your game night by randomly selecting a letter card from the game Trophies. And today's letter will be F.
Let's find a game that starts with F.
Okay. All right, and the game that we have come back with is Fuse by Renegade Game Studios. The idea of the game is very simple. You got 10 minutes, up to 5 players, and you're defusing a bomb together. You're rolling dice to beat combinations on the cards, and if you get through all of them before the timer's up, you win.
That's it. It's very simple to teach.
Yeah.
But it gets a little crazy, gets a little hectic.
It is a high-intensity, fast-paced game.
Definitely is, but it's a cooperative game, and when you win the game, which you won't always win this game,
No.
but when you win the game, it's a group cheering moment.
Yes,
it's, a
absolutely.
lot of hype and a lot of excitement.
Yes.
And you throw up your arms, whoa, you know, it can be very exciting.
And what's
So,
also nice is even though the time limit is always the same, it's always 10 minutes, so that is actually nice. You can be, hey, this is a 10-minute game only. You can choose different difficulty levels, which is friendlier for if it's your first time playing or your experience, or you're playing multiple rounds.
it's a great filler game, but I think most people are going to find themselves playing it a few times.
Yes, absolutely.
So, 10-minute game, played 4 times is 40 minutes. So, you know, it could take a little longer than once you get hooked on it. So, great choice for the letter F, the game Fuse. Hey, thanks for watching a Fellowship of Meeples. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
All right, folks, that's it. Don't forget, we had a contest at the very beginning of the episode, so you want to go check that out. We got more stuff coming this week. Like I said, in half an hour, Z's going to be doing What's Happening right here on the channel. I'll be back at noon for a live Q&A. This coming Friday at 10 a.m., we're going to be doing a live play of the new Masters of the Universe game from CMON, so that's going to be exciting. So lots of cool things, videos all week. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you to my fantastic contributors. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.